Hey, we're live. Look at that logo.
Oh my
Woo!
God. What does that say?
It says Jack Kirby Museum there. And welcome to our live stream shenanigans. We are looking at it's Enter Sandman episode 4. Well, let's go into people mode here. Hi, it's me. Hey, and it's Tom. Hi, everybody. We are. I'm Rand Hoppe. I'm the executive director and co-founder of the Jack Kirby Museum and Research Center.
And I am Tom Kraft, the president of the Jack Kirby Museum and Research Center, located in beautiful Hoboken, New Jersey.
It is beautiful, and
even though it's cold and freezing.
It's cold and things are melting. It felt a little like spring today.
Ah, isn't that nice?
So then we've got Ruben. Thanks, Ruben. Good to see you on Facebook. Good to see Lynn on Facebook. Please say hello. We like hearing from you. Ask questions. Make random comments. Maybe we'll put them on the screen, and maybe we won't. But we do appreciate hearing from you guys. What are we? So we've done this series. Well, I'm going to keep clicking. So it's Enter Sandman. Weirdies. Come see what weirdies I've got for you. All right. I don't know.
Where did you get that from?
It's from the cover.
Oh.
Let's move. Let's just talk a little bit. We did this series of first issue. What? These are basically comic books that they appeared in first issue special, which is just like the goofiest name. First issue special, issue 5. And
wait a minute.
What? so Jack Kirby, kind of at the end of his time with DC Comics in the mid 70s, he was kind of, give us another idea, Jack. So there's Atlas and Manhunter, great comics, really fun. We had we looked at Cobra, which was just this weird thing that probably was pretty cool, but then they decided to take it and turn it into something else. What the heck else? Oh, we talked about the Dingbats. We had John Morrow join us on that episode because that was really fun because he did so much work and he kind of fulfilled a lifelong dream to publish the second and third issue of Dingbats. So that was cool. We had a fun night. And so this is all just our February stuff. February, that's it. And
this last February one,
we had an auction and trivia questions and so on. And then we and then we did Richard Dragon and Justice Incorporated, which was the
blackouts. That was the blackout series when Rand's power.
That's right. Out. Yeah, we were about a half hour in or something, and suddenly my power went out because Hoboken there. And if you look at the videos, you'll see I shared a video of one of my neighbors put up of a transformer explosion. Welcome. So we did that in 2 parts, and those were comics that Jack Kirby drew and did not write. And guess what? We've got more comics that Jack Kirby drew and did not write.
Wow.
So yeah, so here we go. That's where we're at. Hey, Tom, is everything okay? Your video seems a little jumpy, but it's okay. So let's talk about the Sandman at DC Comics. Tom, what do you say? Are you with me?
I'm here.
Okay. So back in 1939, New York World's Fair Comics, there he is. It's the Sandman, the guy in the Tom is not here. So they put out this comic called they had this character called the Sandman. He wears a business and he's back.
Something weird's going on.
All right. And I guess why is man? Okay, so then this is this guy, and it was the 40s. It was Sandman, and then it wasn't the 40s. It was 1939, and then what happened was that they turned Sandman into kind of a comic, into a superhero, where he ended up with a sidekick called Sandy. And I found a quote like randomly out there online that like the artist was told to draw like Bob Kane. And let me tell you, it looks like Bob Kane and his people, that's for sure, which is just weird. But then in 42, I believe, Joe Simon and Jack Kirby ended up at DC National after having left Marvel, and this is the splash from their first story, I believe. It's called Slaves for Sale, or the Riddle of the Slave Market.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
it's a riddle.
It's a riddle. Riddle me this. And so there they were. They did a few of these Sandman stories. I just find it interesting because for me, my learning about comics, it was like Simon and Kirby came to Sandman and they turned him into a superhero. Well, they didn't. He was already a leotard-clad superhero with a sidekick. They did not do that. That happened before they showed up, which, factoid. And of course they did meet some guy called Thor in 1944. Right. So what's that all about? Just Thor. Okay. But then so there's more Sandman because there's Sandman, there's the song, there's the Sandman is just a thing about falling asleep. Then there was a Sandman at Marvel in the early 60s that Ditko did with Stan Lee in Spider-Man, and he's kind of got some pants and a shirt with some stripes on it, but then the same guy shows up in the Fantastic Four by Kirby, and I love this cover because what is Medusa's hair connected to? I don't know. It's fascinating. We can discuss that for hours, but anyhow.
There's a blimp above their heads.
Right. It's a flagpole of another building. I don't know. So the Sandman was in there, but then a year and a half later, Jack actually redesigned the Sandman's costume. I mean, that's a fun Kirby design with the zigzags and the lines on it and stuff. So that he became kind of a villain for the Fantastic Four with this cool costume. But I'm just talking about Sandman. So let's just keep moving. All right. So here we are. It's 1974.
It is?
Wow. I don't know. At least
we don't think. Wait a minute. The computer just disappeared.
Hang on. This is a piece of art that I think I got from our friend Harry Mendrick's art collection webpage on the Comic Art Fans, and it is a pencil drawing by Jerry Grandinetti. He's back, the man who brought you all those wonderful stories and horrible dreams. Come see what I've dreamed up for you. Now look at this guy. I mean, he's the most exciting superhero character I've ever seen.
Yeah, looks like a blob.
No. I do like the guy with the cranium here. This cranium.
But he was used later on.
He's in the first issue. Yeah, he becomes this character. But so this is a sketch by Jerry Grandinetti and for Joe Simon. So it's one of those things where it's Joe working at DC, probably doing prez and coming up with taking over what was it? Strange Sports Stories. Didn't he edit that for a while? And what else did he do? Well, first issue special, right? So we have Green Team and The Outsiders. We did The Geek. Remember the Brother Power of the Geek? Holy smokes! Yeah. Anyhow, that was earlier. That was quite a few years early. But anyhow, so here's some art by Joe. Where he's inking Kirby's pencils. They're two distinct pieces. One has the cool logo inked, which is fun to see.
Yeah, I like the logo, actually.
The logo's great, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the fun things. Scott on Facebook, I have no idea. He's like he's our identifying character. Poor Jeb. Like, what the heck?
I know. It's supposedly
Yeah.
he's in charge of the whole dreamscape.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's wild. So here's some art that was inked by Joe. But then let's just get into the real deal. So here's a piece of original art with Kirby, and thanks to our pal Richard Kolkman sent us an email and said, by the way, this is Frank Giacoia.
It is, yeah.
And it is. And it's fantastic. It's lovely.
I wonder how he ended up doing it, because at this point he wasn't. I mean, it's very random.
I know it is totally random.
Because he did do some inking for like Forever People #1 and Forever People #1 and something else. But that was done.
Richard pointed out that Sandman 1 and Forever People 1 are the Frank Giacoia inked jobs at DC in the early 70s. That's it for Jack.
The thing is that the Forever People was probably the presentation piece that was cut up, and it probably was inked in the late 60s.
Yep.
This was inked in the 70s, which is kind of strange.
It is strange, but it's beautiful. And if you compare it to the printed job, you can see the line of superstars isn't there. The DC is smaller. The 20-cent #1 issue is kind of not there. The logo is in a different place. You can see how the logo kind of comes over Sandman's cape on the printed job. So
he enlarged it.
Yeah, I mean, it is the art. You can also, tell it's not a Mike Royer job, because Mike never did that white outline.
No.
I mean, somebody might have added that to some of Mike Royer's work, but Mike would never have done that.
The cover to Mr. Miracle #18.
You are correct. So, so there's this first cover. Now I'm just going to be the reminiscing guy. I remember buying this issue, and I think I talked about it in the last. We will, John. Thank you.
I don't remember those comments.
I don't remember the comments either. Let's put it up a little bit longer. So over on What If Kirby, if you look at yeah. Oops. Oh, okay. I remember buying this, and I remember buying it in a snowstorm. That's all I remember. And I think Richard meant. So the weird thing about it is that it's a winter issue. So if there were going to be more issues in their head, it would have been quarterly. It came out in 1974, in January, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so the issue kind of stuck around on the newsstands for a while. I remember a stack of them, like an unusual stack, like at the candy store that I went to. And so I don't know, they ended up getting really good sales. Now maybe a return of Simon and Kirby also, and the snowstorm stopped people from the dealers going to the newsstand people and getting these off the back of the truck. So I don't know if you know anything about affidavit fraud, and what happened with a lot of the artists who were potential sales at comic shows or mail order, that the dealers would buy the stuff off the back of the truck, and it would get reported as being not selling. So anytime in the 70s like that, if you saw something that was big numbers in sales, well, it was probably not drawn by Neil Adams or Wrightson or Kirby or Barry Smith, because those were always sold off the back of the truck and were reported as having bad sales. So that's the junky comic book industry. Yes, Scott. Hello. The weird pink cover. Super rare. Super rare. Get it slabbed and whatever.
Make a million.
Make a million. I got nothing. I don't know. Well, weird printing things happen all the time. So there are pink, weird pink covers out there. So there's come see what weirdies I've dreamed up for you. So there are the weirdies, Tom. That's why I called this the weirdies episode, right at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Oh, wait, there's a correlation.
I know. And so, all right. So let's dive into this. And
yay!
Oh man, yeah. I mean, this is. Yeah. So he's dreaming. He can't breathe. There's Grandpa Ezra Paulson.
Yeah, he's dreaming about this sailor who went off of a ship and he's about to die, and he's holding this ugly doll.
Right. And then we get this cool spread, which is actually kind of cool.
It is cool.
Universal. I love the labeling. Universal Dream Monitor. Thank you. And it's interesting that it is edited and drawn by Jack and written by Joe and lettered and inked by Mike Royer. So it seems that Kirby was like, I'm the editor, and it did have its own X number. It was a JS1. I don't know what that might, it was something special. But all right, so then so Sandman's like,
well, the number was JS1.
I think so. Am I wrong?
Joe Simon 1. Does it stand for Joe
that's
Simon?
The weird thing. See that? Oh, maybe it's 2. Boop, 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 down there. Oh, you can't see that. This down here.
It's really small.
Yeah. It has its own. It has its own number. It's not X.
Okay.
For Kirby. So yeah, Grandpa Ezra. They go out and Jed was dreaming reality. They go and save this guy.
But as you notice in the background, there's the Brute, who's another character, and Glob, who's another character. And they're always in these glass capsules for some reason that are not allowed to leave for some reason.
Wander around Sandman's special headquarters. They must stay in your I don't know, toy package. It's like their toys or something.
Yeah, and they have to put a name in front of it because
Sandman
they look exactly the same, so they have to label them.
It's like we were cracking up over some labels on OMAC and the OMAC thing. Like, oh yeah, that's where that happens. Anyhow,
right.
So we have a scan of the original art, which is interesting because you can see that the whole logo thing and a bunch of water was kind of glued on top of the art.
Yeah.
And there's a missing word balloon, which is interesting. But no, it's a very cool spread. And so they get to the sailor, and it's like, take care of this blink. Ugh.
So his dream is really a reality.
It's real.
Yeah.
And Jed likes the toy, but the sailor dies. Oh, too bad, he's dead. And okay, so they go back to their cabin. I don't know. Did they bury him? They just leave him there? Who knows? Who cares?
Yeah, they just leave him there.
They're on an island. Back in the ocean. But then Jed's like dreaming. Oh boy, we're dreaming about the Whirlblink, and the Whirlblink is attacking Grandpa, and it's a nightmare alert in the dream. The Sandman's dream screen. He's got to go help Jed out, and he does. Saves him.
Saves him in the nick of time, but supposedly it's some kind of weird dream. It's not a normal dream.
Yeah. That was too close. Wake up. Oh, Grandpa. Yeah, everything's fine. All right. So, Grandpa then decides he doesn't like that doll.
No, then he hates the doll. And it's very similar to a Twilight Zone that had exactly the same type of thing, where the stepfather's daughter had a doll, and the doll would talk to him, and he would say, "Hello, my name is blah blah, and I'm going to kill you."
Oh, Talking Tina. I think it was Talking
Tina, right, right.
Oh man.
So it's very similar because he takes it down to his workbench and does the same thing, except he throws it in the garbage.
Throws it in the garbage, and then actually there's this kind of like
buries him.
Cool sequence of him taking it out, which is rare in comics at that time. I mean, they're I don't know, it's kind of cool. Silent comics. Yeah, so that's
it's very unusual.
Yeah. And then it's like, okay, well, let's move on. We'll head over and we'll take a look at. We go to Japan, and there's some neurosurgery going on.
It's interesting that it's called General Electric because you think of GE like the company.
Yeah, that's the joke, and that's probably a Joe Simon thing, right? I mean,
yeah, just weird that they got away with.
Yeah,
I don't know. It just seems strange.
It's General Electric. It's great. That's something it seems like Joe would do. He didn't write it, so
Yeah, but, makes sense.
Yep. So then they're like, oh yeah, the general was the head of the kamikaze squadron, but we saved him, but we're rebuilding his brain. Oh, hello. And so we have a nice
side by side,
mega side by side, a pencil photocopy from the collection of the Kirby family, the original art from our digital archive, and then the printed version. And yeah, I mean, it looks great. You get to see what Mike did, what Jack did, what Mike did, and then the end of it all with the printing press and the coloring and all that. I love that Mike put this this word balloon behind General Electric's head.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, it shows distance. It gives
it's great. It adds to
nice little touches. So his brain was like destroyed, and they rebuilt his brain.
Yeah,
supposedly.
Something they improve it, and then all he does is build these dolls.
So they portray him like he's like this kind of like weird, crazy guy that it's very childish. But then in actuality, he's not like that at all.
We'll soon find out. Do not touch my doll. I'm making dolls. Don't touch them. And then he's out. Don't shoot him. His head is priceless.
You know.
Don't shoot him. His head.
So if he's in this like secure place, how did his doll get out to this guy that was on a boat that went?
Who knows?
I need answers.
I don't have them.
I want them.
And then what? Then a stray dog. So Jed and his grandfather live on an island off the coast of Cape Kennedy.
Yeah.
They're in Florida.
Right. How did the dog get there?
And now there's a stray dog, and he's like digging up the doll. Okay. And then there's obviously all kinds of trouble in the Dream Dome. It's a 4-alarm nightmare.
Oh my God. Because Jed is in trouble.
Yeah. GE jingle was, we bring great things to life, especially my priceless head. Okay.
I can see the gears in it already.
I know, right? Okay. Kids all over the Cape Kennedy area are having the same nightmare. Uh-oh. What do you make of it? What do you make of it, Brute? Let me out of my Mylar snug.
What do they do in there? Why are they in there? How do they go to the bathroom or eat or?
It's so odd. All right. Oh, everybody's having that dream. So Sandman goes to help. And I did talk to John Morrow about these comics a few days ago, and that was fun. But one thing he pointed out that he thought that Sandman's costume was by Jack Kirby, and it was pretty cool. And I kind of agree. It is cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like, all the crazy little Kirby like doodads around his arm.
Yep. Yeah, like the cuff and everything.
Belt, the cuff, the boots. Hey, who's this guy in a strange costume? Hey, what's going on? There's not enough doctors. Okay, he'll sleep now. I'll throw sand in their face.
So he has a bunch of different tubes that he slides down. One of them takes him into reality. The other one takes him into different dreamscapes and stuff like that.
Yeah, so he's heading into the ejector tube.
Yep, that takes you to reality.
Okay. All right. So now he's making all these people fall asleep, and then
he can throw sand.
Keeps throwing
Sandman.
Very nice Kirby action figure here on that middle tier. Nice.
Yeah, that's a nice panel.
And then he goes and he finds Jeb and the Werblink. Oh, geez. Okay. But somebody gets to Jeb before him. It's Nazis!
They happen to be on this secluded island.
Okay.
How do they know?
They're tracking down the Werblink.
Ah.
So Sandman punches him out, but he gets crunched by something. I forget. Oh, the Jeep. Ugh.
Yeah, the Jeep runs him over.
The Jeep runs him down, and then they bring him back. They go back to the mainland, and the Nazis go and they working with General Electric. Oh,
what's the purpose of it, though? So they have a female one there. Female Warblick or whatever.
They're gonna. What are they gonna do? Oh, they're gonna destroy. I think there's a bomb or something. I think
they're like connecting the two for some reason.
They will release electric charges planted in your nation's capital. He's going to destroy Washington, D.C.
Yeah, but how does those doll things do that?
I don't know.
I didn't understand that.
And then it's like, oh, what's this in your glove? What's this whistle? I'll blow it. Okay.
Why not?
Why not?
It's there. Blow it. It's a whistle.
I found a whistle in my captive's glove. I'll blow that whistle. And then what? Up and here they come. They were the tubes holding Brute and Glob are opened by the ultrasonic vibes. And here they come, and they release the horrible nightmare creatures.
General Electric with his cool head doesn't see it.
He doesn't. Well, he's like, what? What do they see? Oh.
Save me! Save me!
Who's in my room? Yeah. Okay, I found. Yes, Glob. Turn up the sonic pitch on the whistle to the highest. All right. Ouch! There it goes. His head is shattered.
He has a massive headache.
Talk about a migraine. Oh, so then that's it, and then they're out.
And they can use a whistle to make like a rainbow bridge back to the dreamscape.
Yeah. Well, and that's it. See ya. Okay,
don't want to be ya.
And then that's it. So if you like Sandman, let us know at 75 Rockefeller Plaza.
They let them know.
And then, the weirdies. That's right. That's it. So then a year later, Sandman number 2 comes out, and it has a Kirby cover on it, and we have the Mega side by side, and it's lovely. But inside it's Ernie Chua or / Ernie Chan, inked by Mike Royer, and it's written by Michael Fleischer. And we're not going to show any of that because it's all about Kirby here. So, but this is
hence we are called the Kirby Museum, aren't we?
It's true, and these stories. We're so thankful that you're all here with us, but These are definitely kids comics. I guess that's the kindest thing I can say, right?
Yep.
So here's another cover that we have a side by side, and I love this cover, and I love it because not only because of the return of some kind of like, brain machine thing on that gorilla, on that great ape there, but I just like the fact that it doesn't have any hyperbolic like exclamation point stuff other than the Master of Nightmares, but it's in typeface. So it almost like a pulp, like it's or something. It looks a little bit fancy. That's all. I just like it. It speaks to me as something cool. Because we'll go on to the next cover, and this is nice. I like the guy here. Hello. But again, it's got word balloons, and it's got, they changed the trade dress, so it takes over all this stuff. So, and they have a palette. It's an art palette, a painter's palette, featuring the power-packed art of Jack Kirby. So Jack is back. He's drawing comics. He's drawing the story inside. It's just filled with stuff. But it is kind of a cool cover.
That is a nice cover.
Yeah. All right, so let's take a look at this stuff. Well, it's Panic in the Dream Stream. This is a photocopy of the pencils. This particular issue, the photocopies were really faint. So this is like Photoshoppery to the utmost to try to bring out anything that was really, readable. But there's Mike Royer's lettering and inking, coloring done by the DC folks. And one thing,
color is kind of black.
It is. Well, I think we're heading into 75. We're in 75 now, and I think this is like where the printing really goes downhill, and it's toilet paper stuff on the paper too. So it's not.
Yeah, also on Marvel 75, 76, the paper is just crap.
Yuck. So yeah. So what are we gonna do, Sandman? Those creepies outnumber us. Yeah, He's got his yo-yo. I discovered that there were a few nice large panels, so I figured I'd include them. I don't think we have original art from this issue. We have some from the other ones, but this one
it definitely exists.
Oh yeah. This is interesting because there's somewhere one of these things is like. No, I guess there's a script difference. These Earthlings have strange customs.
They're aliens on a ship.
Have some,
and they're observing.
Yeah, they're observing. They're observing. They're like, what's going on? These humans, they sleep and they have dreams. Well.
They don't know what sleep is, and they don't know what dreams are.
Right. But
and what the purpose of sleeping is.
We have another one. That guy in the upper left is hilarious.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
Looking like some of the whacked out stuff that Jack did for the animation a few years later for Ruby Spears and so on. Oh, I guess this is the one where the script is not there. Like there's this whole but Mr. Secretary, this is the point. We all know that Earth is ripe for conquest. Blah 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 blah. That is not. Jack didn't indicate that here on this, so I don't know whether it was added or Jack forgot it. Again, he's working from a script by Michael Fleischer, so it's not it's not a Jack Kirby story. It's just that it's drawn really well by Jack. Yeah, so what is this dream? Well, the dream, and we can go into the dream world and attack. Oh.
And there's of course Jed is always like the one that
Jed. It's all about Jed. Yeah, Jed. Come on, like it can't just be any kid. It's got to be Jed. And so
And Brute and Glob is going on vacation.
they go on vacation.
They're going into the Dreamscape or the Dream Dome. Dream Dome.
Is that where they're going? The Dream Stream.
Yeah. Dream Stream.
I think, yeah. And yeah. Say hi to your Uncle Harry, Brute. And yeah, so they go and take a vacation.
If I were them, I'd stay there because at least they're not in a bunch of glass tubes. No, Uncle Harry is in the bottom right.
What?
That's Aunt Gertrude or something. He's the one making the making the sausages. He wants another sausage. He does.
Yeah, he's on the grill. You're right. Jeepers. Okay.
Get the relatives straight.
Yeah. I know.
Then they see some really cool birds.
Suitcases with them.
I know. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So then, Brute wants the sauerkraut, and what's going on? Oh, look at those Boyds. No, they're not Boyds. They're ships.
They're spaceships from an alien spaceship. So they invaded the Dreamscape, the Dreamstream.
Yeah.
And dropped this big dome on them.
Over these folks, the populated area of the Dream Stream, imprisoning them and the other nightmares helplessly inside. Now they have to go get the Nightmare Wizard. Maybe we saw the Nightmare Wizard in the non-Kirby drawn stories, but he makes an appearance here as well. It's not like I don't think he's being introduced. But anyhow, yeah, the kids in North America will start going to sleep soon. And then he gets taken. Meanwhile,
aliens
on Lonely Dolphin Island, where there's
stray dogs and Nazis.
There, and then Jed's got a yo-yo because we all, I don't know, I definitely had.
I remember in the 70s, yo-yos are big. I brought it to high school. I learned how to do all the over the falls and around the world. And what?
I had my Duncan Imperial. And,
yep.
Then you could get one of those butterfly things too.
Oh yeah, I had one of those too. And then they had the ones that had they lit up on the sides when you.
Yes. Go to the candy store and buy those little bags with the yo-yo strings in them.
Right. Dunking yo-yos. Yep, that's right.
Okay, so yeah, he's trying his yo-yo, and then what?
He's doing around the world.
He is, and then he goes, and well, can I take my yo-yo to bed with me, Grandpa? Okay. So he does, and then he dreams, and then the Sandman's worried about Jed's sleep
because it's an unnatural dream. Not normal.
Not normal.
Because they get intercepted with. So they want to see that if they could invade somebody's dream, they can kill them.
Oh man, terrible!
It happens.
I know. They have ionic fission bombs.
So they're about to kill Jed in his dream.
That's not good.
Which would kill him physically, I guess.
Yeah. And he calls Grandpa and wakes up.
Well, Sandman wakes him up.
Oh, right.
Wake up, Jed! Wake up!
Yes, I'm telling you. Jed will be all right for now. Now what? He's going to go. And he's going to go visit the Nightmare Wizard. Oops. He's tied up. Well, guess what, buddy? You're going to get conked in the head by the people who tied up the Nightmare Wizard.
Yeah, this is after the last one where he got ran over by a Jeep. He keeps on getting in trouble.
Sandman. I do like the Mike Royer bold panel.
Yeah, it's nice. He put the heavy liner on the edges when there's emphasis.
Yep. And what's going on? I don't know. What is the point? These guys, they're evil, I tell you. And then so now they're both tied up. It's just like Justice Incorporated. Can you we're both tied up. Can you reach into my glove and get a whistle? Oh man. All right. And then what happens? Yes. Oh, he tries. He's trying to wake Jed up with the whistle.
Yeah. He's talking to Jed.
Put on your clothes and ride my whistle's ultrasonic sound waves. Oy, okay. He wakes up, grabs his yo-yo.
It's a pretty cool panel though. That when he's like surfing the.
Yeah. The whole
It's kind of fun.
Cool. Yeah. And even the weird, the cool stuff at the bottom. It's like a comic book.
And he decides to take his yo-yo, his Duncan with him.
Yes. Yeah. This is great.
Sees all this weird stuff, but they prevented the their man-eating kind of plants.
Yeah.
Prevented it from eating Jed and let him get through.
That's right. Okay. There's not much what we can do. What can I do? Untie me. And then what?
And then he's doing shenanigans with his yo-yo.
Yes, look at this. This is a London Bridge. This is around the world. And bonk, right in the face.
Eyeball.
Even so.
Good work, Jed.
Part of his face. I'm sorry. Lots of nice detail, John. It's true. No, they're fun. And we didn't, wish I could have shown more.
I think we figured out, and we're not sure. We need to check. There's no way to check the X numbers, unfortunately. But this was probably, I think, didn't Richard say it was like 73? Like the first one was drawn around 73?
73 because it was published in January of 74. And then 2 was published in January of 75.
Mm-hmm.
So,
because Mike was inking it, so it was before he left. So Mike left around commanding number 17, which was 73-ish. So kind of makes sense.
Yep. And then what happens?
He uses his whistle to free everybody, Brute and Glob.
He crashes the dome, and that's great. And everything's here. Did your tricycle lose a wheel bearing or something? That Brute, he's always got funny things to say.
Sure does.
And then they fight and they win, and Jed goes back home.
There you go.
Okay,
that's all I can say.
What's next? Next. Oh, it's some nice pencils. Issue 5.
It's nice. It's okay color.
It's good. I wish this stuff wasn't up here. But that's me being very picky. But yeah. All right. So now what do we got? It's the invasion of the frogmen. It's a cool dragon, sea monster, sea serpent.
It's a cool one.
Yep. No, Grandpa, I will not leave you. And then what? See those birds? The birds is how we know that there's something below the surface.
Yeah, there's fish and stuff. So and he learns that from his grandpa.
Useful later in the story.
Foreshortening.
And then a more sea monster, and then whoops, Sandman's watching them.
So there's more than fish underneath with the seagulls. There was actually a big, big sea monster.
Wow. All right.
I thought he only watched him when he's dreaming.
I don't, he's watching a little too much.
See, now they say the reality ejector tube.
Reality ejector tube.
Yeah, before they just had ejector tube.
So he had a little work done. The contractor came in and finished the lettering on the
right, along with Glob and Brute.
This is a cool monster up here on the top tier there.
That's really nice.
Yeah. That's the thing. Even if he wasn't writing him, he would was always really great art.
Yeah, he definitely gave his best.
Yep.
pretty hard considering.
Uh-oh. Jed
The monster gets them and they're underwater and he frees them.
Tried to save
He
Jed's
punches
grandpa.
them and Grandpa doesn't make it.
He doesn't make it. Grandpa. Gee whiz. Yikes. Well, that's kind of a drag.
You mean he's? I'm afraid so, Jed. Your grandfather is dead.
What now, Sandman?
He's on his own.
He's on his own. You're gonna be all by yourself on Dolphin Island near Cape Kennett.
With Nazis and stray dogs.
Yeah. Dead grandpa, dead sailor. And then what? He gives him a whistle.
Yeah, it says,
if
you ever really need me, just blow this whistle and I'll be there right away.
Take the whistle, Jed. Because,
And then comes trouble. Ugh.
Oh, man. Yeah. So then his Aunt Beatrice or something? Clarice and Uncle Barnaby show up.
Oh, they're prize specimens.
Yeah, they're classic step family.
So they just happen to be passing by, apparently, to visit.
What? No.
And they didn't know that the uncle died.
No, they didn't know that. They didn't.
So they just happened to be
visiting. Just coming by,
yeah.
And
and then says, well, you can't stay here.
Yeah.
We have a farm, and it's a lovely place. You can play with the animals, and life is wonderful. And
yeah, no, that's true, Scott. Yeah, I don't know. Jed's seen a lot of trouble. Yeah, so come to the farm. It'll be great. And then, yeah, he agrees to go.
And they go.
And where am I? So they take off, and
he packs up. They take off.
Yeah.
They enter, and then his cousins are there, Susan and Bruce.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're terrible.
No good.
Yuck. It's the classic orphan thing. It's like, here's a room under the stairs, Harry. And by the way, we're gonna eat like crazy, and you're gonna have oatmeal because it's
right
for you.
So they basically abuse him. It's a sad situation after Jed's been through all this stuff, crazy Nazis and stray dogs and dolls and.
Yeah. So and we have these photocopies, but they are lettered, which is interesting.
That is weird.
Yeah, they're lettered. They're not, and I think it's like royal lettering. Not really sure, but
looks like white from what I can tell.
I find it interesting that it would be done like that. I might have to ask Mike about it sometime.
Yeah, I wonder. So he probably got a script and he lettered it, and then maybe he gave it to Jack before he inked it. I don't know. It's pretty weird, right? Yep. Yeah. Unless they needed to send it to somebody. I don't know. For editors or something like that. I don't know.
No, you're right, John. Grandpa does look like Dr. Damien. And not just that, but yeah. Well, it's a standard orphan thing.
It's true. It's very similar to Harry Potter.
Yeah. Right. And then it's like, no, hey, what's that? Tell me about that whistle you got. Leave my whistle alone. And then he snaps it.
He takes it and then punches him, and then he gets in trouble. Gets blamed for it.
Yeah. Terrible. And then it's like, you must go and chop that firewood before dinner time, or no dinner for you.
Some of the panels remind me of a combination of Commandy and Captain Victory with his hair twirled at the corner like that.
Yeah. So then he's like, well, you know what? That's too much work. I think I'll take a nap.
I'd do the same thing if I was in that situation.
You know? And then Sandman's there, and there's a whistle blowing, and they head off into the dreamscape or the dream. They go through space, and they're going to stop the frogmen.
Yeah, because there's danger.
Oh, look at that panel on top. It's great. The peace-loving winged people are embroidered in mortal combat with the forces of the vicious frogmen.
Who could ever have drawn frogmen like that than
I know, they're great. Well, okay, Sandman and Jed step in and solve this problem. And guess what? Jed figures out where the frogmen live.
Because
of the Boyds on the surface.
Because of Grandpa.
Right. Right.
I got it.
It's the fourth. So then, yep, there it is. They go and they find the frogmen's place, and hello. We've got some original art. And yeah, so then they fight.
I like the middle panel where he's smacking the frog. His fist still underneath his chin.
Yeah. And they beat the frogman, and the queen for the peace-loving winged people are like, well, now that we know where they live, they can't threaten us anymore. All right. Thank you, and Jed. And then it's like, hey, Jed, well, we've got to go. Time to wake up. And then what? All the wood has been chopped.
By Brute, and probably Brute only, because I don't think Glob could actually do much.
Like being a pain in the neck the whole time. Yeah. Ha ha. Okay. Next. All right. Where are we now? Oh, it's
Bollywood.
Side by side. So we've got some pencil photocopies, issue 6. It is the Sandman in the hilarious plot to destroy Washington, D.C. That's what General Electric was going to do, but I guess it's back. It's kind of a cool thing. It's inked by Wally Wood.
What does it say in the pencils on the left? It says art by Jack Kirby. What does it say underneath that?
Inks and letters, Mike Royer. So the plan was for Mike to do it.
Interesting.
Yeah. We will ask Mike about this someday if he has anything to say. So, yeah. I mean, I remember buying this issue and enjoying the Wally Wood stuff. It's not the most mind-blowing, awesome Wally Wood stuff like you were pointing out on Sky Masters, but you know, it is. And also, they did change the hilarious plot to the plot
to destroy.
There's a few other little changes I think I noticed.
Because destroying Washington, D.C. is not funny.
Not funny, Tom.
So
tone it down a little.
Joke around.
All right, Bob. I'm with you. I hear you. Oh, you had an autographed one. That's fun. Nice. Okay, let's move on. So now what's happening? Oh, yeah. He's drowning, and Sandman is checking in on Chad again. Oh, and Globs and Brute are in their tubes.
But it's a weird kind of dream he's having. It's like an artificial one.
Yeah.
Because what happens is that Jed is not really there. He's an android. And he blows up. Boom.
That's crazy.
It was planned by somebody.
Boy. All right. Well, there's the outside of the ejector tube. So that's good to see, get a little context there.
Yeah, it's coming out of the Dream Dome, I believe.
Yes.
So he's stunned.
Yes.
He supposedly can't die in this realm.
Right. He floats
and
lifeless.
Then these strange
taken.
People come out in a raft.
Yes.
With short paddles.
Yeah, and they have numbers. They're numbered. Number 2 and number 7.
Of course. You know them well.
Watch out for number 7, right? Come on, do I have to say the joke? Watch out for number 7, right? Because 7, 8, 9. I'm with you. I'm here all night. Okay, yeah, so, All right. I love this guy. I love this guy, though. Whoever this, what is his name again?
Scissors, the guy.
Yeah. We'll get there. That was my whistle. Okay. All right. Brute's got to comb his hair. Ho ho! Oh, there's number 9. Oh, I guess not. Okay.
Yeah, so Brute stays behind because he actually, well, we don't know yet, but he stays behind, and they characterize him as a moron.
Right.
So not to worry about him. In the meantime, this Sandman, who we don't know who he is because we had just seen him like floating on the water, takes off with Glob.
Oh no.
And they zap Glob. Actually, Sandman, the android Sandman, zaps Glob.
Yeah. And they set a course for Secret Island Fortress number 114. All right. Now what? Oh, okay. We have some pencils.
It's really classic Hollywood inking on the bottom left with the face with the light. It reminds me so much of like Sky Max, his other work.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see how Wally adds a lot of feathering and so forth to his stuff compared to what Jack drew.
Right. Okay, so now what's happening? I don't know. Jed's like serving pancakes to everybody. And they're going to go to the carnival, but Jed doesn't go. He has to do chores.
Maybe next year you can go.
Right. But we're going to go.
In the meantime, do this, do that, clean the house. Basically a slave.
And they come back, and it's like, oh, look, I won a teddy bear. And a what? An accordion? Or what? I don't know. And then
that little brat guy, Bruce, grabs his whistle finally and blows it.
Oh, boy.
And, of course, Brute shows up. Scares the crap out of him.
He says, what do you expect? Robert Redford, Twinkle Toes?
And lets all his nightmares out. Save me, save me.
And then Brute's like, wake up. And then they go, what do you got?
So he grabs Jed because Jed is the go-to person, I guess, out of all the billions and billions of kids.
Yeah.
And
we get to see,
he has to help.
We get to see Jack and Wally Wood kind of do a Walter Cronkite here. It's who it looks like to me.
Yeah, you're right.
It does. So that's kind of funny. Some lunatic crackpot calling himself Dr. Spider just sent an ultimatum to President Gerald Ford. Crackpot! Oh, boy. That's trouble. All right. So, Dr. Spider. There's got to be something. How will Sandman
What an ugly thing. It reminds me a little bit of the Dune. Remember the movie Dune with that guy was like a floaty guy, just like disgusting looking?
Oh. Sandman's so strong he finally broke out.
Yeah, he used his whistle or something, I think. Or something.
It's strength. It's Herculean strength.
Of course, that one.
And then he gets zapped. All right, Dr. Spider. Tie his hands
threw
behind his
him off
back.
the cliff. And there's of course, a shark underneath, and he's in trouble. And they're riding this stream like Rainbow Bridge kind of thing from Glob, because Glob leaves this, wherever he goes, he leaves this trail, thick trail.
Trail of nightmare dust. Oh. Okay. And then what? So Jeb goes there. Oh, nope, it's not Sandman, and now you're in a trap. Oh. Now
he's an android.
What's Brute gonna do? What are you, a tar baby or something? I can't let go. Dr. Spider zaps him. Sends his team after them both. He's going to obliterate. Oh, hello. And then we've got some shark
it's fun
action.
To see this comparison, especially with Wally Wood stuff.
Yeah. All the machines, that was one thing that Wood could always do very nicely. It was like, machiney.
Add a lot of detail, make it look more organic almost. That's fun.
We'll figure out a way the Sandman will find a way to stop you, you fiend. All right. And surprise, there he is. And he does it. Smash, smash, smash. Yeah. Okay, now what?
So now they fight, and Brute punches the android Sandman, and then all of a sudden the door opens. I'm not through yet, and this robot comes out. Of course, since
even more
he's not
huge,
using his Herculean strength, he uses his whistle, and it just somehow dissolves it or cracks something. Or,
a warm puddle of molten goo.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. and then what about these rockets? Okay, well,
he blows his whistle.
Oh, he does. All right.
Guess which one? He's in one. No, what happens is, so the Spider-Man is in one of those. Oh,
he's escaping.
Those rockets, escaping, and they want him to use his whistle, but he says, "No, I'm not going to kill somebody." Basically, even if it is Dr. Spider. So Dr. Spider gets away to fight another day against the Sandman, which I don't think we ever see. But
and then, of course, Bruce is
and then Bruce. His cousin Bruce is talking about this, and of course Jed is smirking because he knows that his experience is real.
All right. Well, okay. So then what do we have? Oh, so I moved it. I put it at the front. So then that was the last issue of Sandman. But they did produce an issue 7, and they made a cover, and Mike Royer inked it. But it's not Jack Kirby pencils. This is Ernie Chua, Ernie Chan pencils. He worked on the first two issues 2 and 3, and then Kirby came back.
Yeah.
So it's just a weird one, and it looks so Royer-y, so it looks so Kirby-y, but Sandman it's Ernie Chua.
Especially you could tell by the Sandman himself. He definitely
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay.
That figure, yeah. So it's just
what if
fun.
Jack did layouts for this or anything?
I doubt it. Sparta, the printing plant, indeed. Yes. Yep. That's a lot of the stuff was tagged with that, or Eastern Color or something. But what happened was, so the book was not published, and there was a whole thing going on at DC where they expanded. They were expanding their line, and then all kinds of stuff happened to the economy, and like a month later contracted their line. So there was, get ready for the DC explosion, and there were all these really cool comics coming out. And then like a month later, it was like, they were all gone. And they called it the DC implosion. And the folks at DC who were working in the office made Xeroxes of all these issues that were not published. But the thing that happened, there was a time difference between that. And I don't have the details on the time difference. But what happened was that this Kirby Royer Sandman Santa Claus story ended up that they made a wraparound story for an issue of Commandy.
Number 61.
Yeah, that was not published. So the Sandman 7 didn't get published, and then they said, well, you've got this Kirby story. Let's wrap it into this Commandy thing written by Dick Ayers. I forget who wrote it. And
I think number 60 was the last one too.
Oh gosh, really?
I believe so.
I don't have any of that at hand. So it was this whole adventure that Commandy had where he was meeting Sandman and dealing with the dreamscape, and then suddenly it was like, oh, here's Santa Claus, here's Sandman fighting Santa Claus. Merry Christmas. And that book got canceled, and that's the story that ended up in Canceled Comic Cavalcade issue 2, not the first canceled comic Cavalcade. So you see, there's a number 2.
The final Commandy was number 59.
Okay,
from September, October 1978.
Oh, so years later, right?
Yeah.
They thinking they were going to do something with this old Sandman story that they had sitting in inventory, and they eventually did put it in a digest comic in 1981 for Christmas. And so this is the cover of the digest that it appeared in, and you'll see that the scans that we have, the printing dots are really large because it's scanned from a little digest. So you'll see that the colors look a little bit different. So here's the splash pencil photocopy, and it's I don't know, kind of all right as far as action Kirby stuff. And then there's the inking, editor Joe Orlando. You can see Indicia. You can see inventory. Put it in Commandy 61. Blah blah blah. All kinds of shenanigans.
61 never happened.
Never happened.
Also, we were lucky to scan this complete book, including the cover that wasn't by Jack that you just saw.
Yeah.
A number of years ago.
Yeah.
About 5 or 6 years ago, maybe longer.
Yep. So here's how it was printed. It was also published in an special issue, I think, of the Commandy Challenge whenever that came out like 3 years ago. But it was only in black and white, I think. So this digest is where you're going to see the colored version. So yeah, no, it looks hopeless. We've got to keep on fighting. Okay. Let's just keep going here. Yeah. All right. So they're he's at the farm. It's snowing. And
they have like a drive to raise money for something. I don't know what.
I'm just still kind of like trying to figure out so they were in their boat. The aunt and the uncle were in their boat going to visit the island that was near Cape Kennedy.
Yeah. But it's snowing and cold out there.
The farm, and now it's snowing like it's like New England. I'm just confused. It's okay. Bruce is being awful. Make Jed go out in the storm and find money. Go talk to the miserly rich guy who we'll donate to the Christmas fund. And then Jed goes, and he's pretty straightforward. And what does he say? Talks about Santa Claus, and they laugh at him, and He says, if you can prove that Santa Claus exists, I'll give you $1 million. And the nephew was like, what? And so Jed's like, yeah, all right, I'll go figure out how to prove that Santa Claus is real. And he takes off. But then, of course, the nephew is like, yeah, I'm going to get my uncle's millions, so forget it. I don't want any check for $1 million being written. So I'm going to try to.
It's money he doesn't have in his pocket.
Right. So what does Jed do? He goes and he blows his magic whistle.
Because he has to find Santa Claus, and he figures Sandman can help him, which he can. But of course, the nephew is hanging out in the woods watching all this and realizes that there might be.
Of course, Jed drops his magic whistle.
Oh no!
Jed! Okay, so that's the great, and thus the shenanigans ensue. So yeah, he goes back to the Dream Dome. What's happening? Oh, hello. Let's see. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, perfectly good Kirby stuff. The ejector tube yet again. And then, all right, so we're going to head out into the dream stream. You guys can, I'm letting you out of your tubes so you can handle emergencies while I'm gone. And then they head out where are they going to go? I forget. I have an idea.
For not exercising and being in the tube, Brute has a lot of muscles.
I know. Yeah, he's just standing there all the time. And he's like,
wow. Doesn't even sit down.
I know. So he finds the nephew finds the whistle and blows it, and then of course Brute shows up, and yeah, I was supposed to be with Jed and Sandman. All right. So then what do they do? They go see the Nightmare Wizard, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Nightmare Wizard's like, here,
seen before.
Take this boat. Or this sled, or whatever it is. It's a sled. And they take off, and then Brute throws
the nephew through the
tube. He ends up in Nightmare World, in the fantasy forest. It almost gets eaten by this pretty cool monster.
Yeah.
And
don't you know that eating humans can give my delicate plants indigestion? Don't you know that?
Who wouldn't? No, you're right. You're right, John. It was in the omnibus as well. That's true. Yeah.
That's where I actually read it.
Bronze Age omnibus or something like that.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Actually, I got it here. Oh, here. This one. It's in this one.
It's in that one?
Yep.
So the nephew gets a sled as well. They go to the North Pole. The elves attack. When Santa's elves attack, then what happens? Oh, jeez. Well,
they attacked them because they thought that they were part of
seals, right?
Yeah, the sea. Yeah.
And then
they get scolded by Mrs. Claus.
Yay! And then, what's happening? It's Christmas Eve. We've got to get Santa on his sleigh, but what about those seal men? We've got to beat them. All right. What's up with Santa? Why is he standing there alone in the clearing? Santa, is that you? No, it's
a snowman.
It's a trap.
These guys are like, they actually happen to have an extra set of Santa Claus and put it on.
I know. These guys are like always taken in by like robots and.
I know. What is it? Gullible.
Like fake Sandman. Anyhow, it's kind of nice attack, nice action panel there, the lower left. Sorry you've been dragged into this, Sandman, my old friend. Well, Santa, we found you. What's going on? Well, the seal men are upset. Do we know why yet? No. They want to sabotage Christmas.
They want to sabotage Christmas.
So wrong. So then what does he do? He uses his whistle. Oh, and he melts the bars so they can get out of there.
Whistle does a lot of different things, like crack glass and crack like a crazy guy with a glass brain. And
that's right. All right, there's a nice side by side action, and Santa's help fighting sock. Me,
I didn't know Santa can fight like that.
Santa's got moves.
He does.
Yeah. And because the problem is that the seal men have been getting the wrong presents. So they're mad at Santa. Santa, stop sending us what? I forget.
They send them the wrong thing.
Woolen gloves. Why are you sending woolen gloves to the seals? We have webbed flippers. We don't have hands.
Yeah, right.
They're sending scuba diving equipment. So they'll be getting bad presents, so they decide to attack Santa.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it? So Santa guarantees that he'll return stuff, and apparently someplace in like the desert got
Jed.
Fish and stuff like that was supposed to go to the seals.
Somewhere out in the Sahara Desert, there's cases of frozen fish. Aha! Yeah. Okay, so everything gets worked out.
And they race back because just in the nick of time, just under the deadline. And of course, Mrs. Santa is now the one that's tied up because the nephew has found him.
He's got a gun
and wants to kill.
He's got
everybody.
He's got a fantastic Jack Kirby pistol.
Yeah.
Santa's like, "How dare you call me fat?"
Fat?
And Sandman says, my sand cartridges are my only chance. That's it. He got him. So then what?
So the third panel reminds me of Oberon, like when Mr. Miracle and Barda comes back upstairs.
Yeah. And then Rodney, the nephew, comes down the chimney, and then Santa does. And it's me. I'm real, Titus.
He was going to give the money anyway.
And he says, I was going to give the money anyway because I like the gumption of that young man. And then he says, I would really like to go on a ride in your sleigh. So he does. And then, of course, Bruce catches a cold. Dun, da, da. And that was it, folks. I'm glad that's over with. Oh, man. Yeah. So, I don't know. Just weird kids comics. No, I know. We will, Bob. I kind of spaced on the 70s, on the losers, but we do have to take on the losers. We're looking at Commandy. Commandy will be huge. And we've also talked about covering Spirit World, Into the Days of the Mob, and the never published romance stuff, Soul Love and Coup Divorce. So, I'm kind of feeling like we should be 70s completists and just have this monster video archive of just, all the DC at the 70s stuff. It'd be kind of nice to be able to just say, well, we did it, so
we can move on.
Let's move on. What's next? And then it's, Mad Bomb, Eternals, and Black Panther, and Devil Dinosaur.
Yay!
Yeah, those would be fun. So that's it. That's episode 4. Enter Sandman. Weirdies. Yeah, they're weirdies. All right. Some nice Jack Kirby drawings and storytelling in there. But let's just take a look. Go back through time. So that's what we did in this February. We're going to go back in time even further because just go to our YouTube channel. We've got 19 episodes or something of our Fourth World Summer. We've got a special visit with Captain America Bicentennial Battles that we did on the 4th of July. We visited with Mike Royer. It's kind of part of the Fourth World. We did a special Jack Kirby 101. I think I have to put this on YouTube. I don't think it's on YouTube. We did this for Comic-Con San Diego, the San Diego folks, with John Morrow and Mark Evanier. Wow. As a intro to Jack Kirby 101. And what else?
Seems like a long time ago now.
It seemed like ages, right? And then it was Jack Kirby's 103rd birthday. We did 3 days. We did 26 hours of talking with folks. It was great. Rob Liefeld, Tom Scioli, James Romberger, so many great people. Really,
yeah, that's true.
26 hours. I'd say maybe there were 4 or 5 that was just us doing different things. So 20, 21 different guests, and really, really interesting and informative. And if you're, Abe Reisman, Mr. True Believer, Stan Lee biography, we talked to him on the Sunday.
That's right.
30th.
I just got the book, by the way.
Great episode.
Where is it?
Eric Larson. You're right, Ruben. Yep. Hours and hours of yammering on live streams. We did a month of the Demon. 5 episodes. There it is. And what else? And we did OMAC. OMAC. Oh my gosh.
OMAC was fun.
Alana visit us. Alana Levin join us.
Yep.
Some OMAC. What else? Okay, so become a member. Your ongoing support helps us pay bills. We have bills. We have a storage space. We have an archive where we keep all of our stuff. We have photocopies. We have books. We have our stock where we keep our T-shirts. So if you could join us and become a member, there are opportunities for you to get a nice gift as a membership premium. And not only that, but speaking of gifts, we do have an online store on our website where you can buy all kinds of cool stuff. We have posters, prints. Ooh, we have to take some of those prints down because we sold out. Haven't done that yet. Right, Tom?
Yeah, we sold out of we just shipped the last Tribes Trilogy. We don't have all 3 of them anymore.
Yes. And
it's sad but true.
Sad but true. But we might do another edition at some point. Different size, different treatment of some sort. Who knows? And you're right, Ruben. We have to take meal breaks and bathroom breaks.
Otherwise, it can get really messy.
That was quite a weekend. It was really, really good. But hit the like button and follow us and click the bell so that you get the alerts and do all those things so that you can keep up with what we're doing when we go live again. I don't know when we're going to go live again. We're done with February, so that's it. But
spring is coming. Yes.
We can use some encouragement, so we like to hear from you. Comments on the videos, mostly on YouTube. You can comment on Twitter and Facebook as well, but we kind of considering YouTube our smash that like button, right? Isn't that what I'm supposed to say? Smash it.
Right.
But so really, thank you everybody for joining us. It was fun. The Sandman, I don't know. First issue, crazy series of I mean, gosh, Atlas Comics, Manhunter Comics. I'm ready. But anything, all that other stuff, I don't know. It's like, so we all do kind of yearn for photocopies of the original Cobra, I think, just to see, really what that was. So maybe someday,
maybe
might show up. Who knows? But thanks again. Thanks, Tom. And
thanks, Rand.
Thanks everybody for your support. And all right, I guess we'll be moving on. Thanks again. All right, take care. Have a good night.
See you later.